Hi, I'm Steve, and this is The Spokesman. More so than any other activity that I've ever participated in, bikes really do live by the idea that if you spend more, you'll have a better time. It's really true.
I'm not buying it.
Here's 5 items that really are worth their weight in that green paper that we love. Let's talk about this. Spending a little extra scratch on a new component can make a big difference in terms of how much actual fun you're going to have when you get out there on the dirt. As bike enthusiasts, we love to buy stuff. It's our default mode.
You never spend any money. You gotta start spending money. Money spending's good.
The more something costs, the better it is, right? Don't tell my wife. No, really, honey, I barely paid anything. Here's 5 items that really are worth their weight in that green paper that we like to use. This is a huge tangent to go off on. Wheels are a major component of any reasonable quality bike, or even the cheap ones. They can get pretty heavy. They have steel rims, they have heavy hubs, they make riding that much harder. But how would you know unless you've tried something else?
Just try it out.
Maybe you're just used to riding with really heavy stuff and you're wondering why everyone else is having such a good time. Materials really are usually the decisive element. You've got your spokes and your rims. Spokes can be made of lighter materials than steel. Maybe not stronger, steel is real. And it can be bladed, and that's sexy.
Oh, yeah.
Aluminum. It's a softer metal than steel. It's lighter, it has a lower specific gravity, and it can possibly be made to be as strong as steel. Titanium. It's really light. It's got an amazing strength to weight ratio, and you get to tell everybody that you spent money on titanium. Composite materials, like carbon. Relatively new on the market compared to the metals. They're usually pretty light and they're very stiff. A lot less flex under load, and that means better power transfer when you're pedaling. Then there's the alternative materials, like string. Yeah, string. These excel in the areas of vibration dampening and fatigue life. They're also ridiculously light, 50% lighter than steel. A steel spoke is 5 grams. String is 2.5 grams. Whoa. Then there's rims. They can make a huge difference. The most common material for rims is aluminum. It's cheap, it's recyclable, and it's really easy to work with. Carbon is a great alternative. It's strong, but not stronger. And it's also really light. And carbon can give you a very
Smooth ride.
This brings us to rotational mass. This is the real reason expensive wheels are actually better. What is rotational mass? It's calculated as the sum of the mass multiplied by the square of their distance from the center. I equals sigma mr squared. I think that's right. Yeah, it's not confusing at all. I really have to stop putting equations in my videos.
Nobody understands.
Weight that's further from the center has a much greater impact on rotational resistance. What are the advantages of lighter rims? They're easier to get started up into speed, and they don't resist turning forces much. Racers know this. Casual riders also know this. They make it easier to slow down, and you have that much less mass working against you. This can improve braking and extend your brake life. Wheels were a big topic. That took a while. Squishy parts. Do you like confidence when you ride jank? Do you like to adjust your bike's responsiveness according to your personal preferences? Do you like to hit huge jumps? I really don't.
Don't jump.
There's front and rear suspensions. Both are super important to your bike's performance. Let's talk about front. Cheap forks deflect obstacles, and that will make you crash. Nobody likes crashing. Nice forks absorb obstacles. You roll over the stuff and not off of it. Rear suspensions. You're just gonna have better control. Your rear wheel is touching the ground longer. Being in the air, not touching the ground, is literally the opposite of traction. Full suspension bikes also feel a lot nicer. I equate riding a super cushy mountain bike to riding a couch.
On our couch.
I love couches. Those are all the reasons to get a suspension over not even having one. Stiff bikes are light, but boy are they rough rides. Why pay more? Better damping? Not dampening. It's not a wet thing, it's damping. This is the part of the shock that absorbs energy and keeps the thing from bouncing uncontrollably. It manages how quickly the shock can compress and rebound. There's also lighter materials. Just like wheels, lighter equals easier for everything else. And there's more tuning options. High and low speed compression damping, high and low speed rebound damping, sag, and then there's Kashima coating. Yeah, that's still a thing. Can you really feel a difference when you're turning the cranks? Yes, the weight thing that we've been talking about is still in play. Lighter equals better and more expensive. More expensive tends to be more complex designs. R&D is not cheap. Do the math. Durability. Cheaper parts are made from cheaper materials. Higher end parts use better seals and better bearings. Lower end steel or aluminum, these parts wear faster. There's a lot more plastic on the cheaper stuff. The exception here is the very top end stuff, the racing level stuff. XTR and XX, they use lighter components that tend not to last quite as long.
But it's a very bad design.
They sacrifice durability for lightness. And for some people, that's a good exchange. Pro riders want lighter stuff. Regular riders only go light because they got a bonus check from a divorce settlement or something like that.
Heavy alimony?
Clutches. I was all ready to talk about how better rear derailleurs have clutches and cheap ones don't. Turns out the new Shimano XT Di2 models, which are really nice, don't have clutches. A clutch is like a spring inhibitor that keeps the chain from slapping the frame on bumpy rides. It's pretty handy and they work really well. And they also help you shift more precisely and they increase the life of your chain. I'm in my 50s, so I don't heal very fast anymore. And when I crash, I also don't bounce anymore.
Oh, that's gonna leave a mark.
It's not fun. Materials are going to be softer and more breathable on better safety equipment. They also have more precise adjustment options. At the higher end, the pad itself is usually also made of better materials. Then there's coverage. A better pad tends to protect more of your body. Knee and shin pads as compared to just knee. This costs more to design and to make. Expensive helmets are worth every penny. You can get a good cheap helmet, don't get me wrong, but they can get really expensive. Top models tend to be just as safe as cheaper ones. Most of them are certified by Snell, CPSC, and ANSI, and a bunch of other companies. Look for those labels. If they're certified, that means they're safe. Higher end models have better breathability. That means that the air moves through them and cools you off faster. Costlier models are also usually lighter. Why is this on the list? And why did I put it at number 1? Well, you probably just spent thousands of dollars on a bike. Don't you want to enjoy the ride? This covers 2 areas, fitting and tuning. Fitting is the process of adjusting the bike to your body. Bodies are unique.
One of a kind.
And you have to deal with things like frame adjustments, stem adjustments, saddle adjustments, the width of your bars, cranks, the position of your shoe cleats. These are all things that can help adjust the ride and fit you better on the bike.
You better make it fit.
Tuning, customizing the drivetrain, things like crank length, cassette gears, chain rings. You also want to set up your rebound and compression based on the kind of riding that you do and your weight. And then there's the use of volume spacers. They give you a more progressive or stiffer suspension. It's a lot less likely to bottom out. I've never really had a problem with these. In fact, I kind of don't tweak them because I don't really bottom out. Maybe I need to ride harder.
Don't do that. Don't do that, okay?
All these customizations make your ride more enjoyable. They give you a more comfortable fit, they increase your safety, and they give you a bike that's going to react to your specific needs. It's going to act less generic and more customized to you. And that's a good thing. What are the runners-up? Well, originally this was a top 10 list, so here's numbers 10 through 6. I'll just make it quick. Pedals. You want secure and stable contact points. This goes for pedals, but it also goes for grips and your saddle. I love a good large platform pedal. I use these Tectonics. They're locally designed right here in Durango. They give me a great solid platform. Budget pedals work great. They just usually don't last quite as long. My old race face Chesters were awesome, but they got all smashed up on rocks. Tires. This is subjective. It depends on the kind of riding you like. Good tires can change the game for a good ride. There are so many brands. Maxxis is pretty much the leader. They have so many styles, and I've tried a whole bunch of them, and honestly, I kinda can't tell the difference. Then there's Conti or Continental. Maybe the next on my list to try. I've heard really good things about them, but I haven't ridden them much. Versus. This is a lesser known brand, but I really liked riding these. If I didn't keep getting free tires from other places, I'd be using Versus. Other brands that I haven't tried are Michelin, Schwalbe, Kenda, Vittoria. The list kind of goes on forever. I'm sure there's a bunch of others that I'm forgetting. Brakes. Most brakes stop well. There's 2-pot and 4-pot brakes. 2-pots have 2 cylinders that push on the brake rotor. 4-pots have 4 cylinders. They give you twice as much stopping power, and usually not at much of a cost of lever pull. You really can't feel much of a difference. But I would advise that you don't skimp on brakes. If it doesn't work, you're gonna end up in the ER, and that sucks. Frame. Frames are tuned to your specific riding style, of course. There are too many ways to make bad decisions here. For instance, choosing a frame with dimensions that don't fit you or your riding style. In terms of sizing, this can be a tough decision. You need to test ride a lot of bikes and figure out which one fits you the best, and it can vary from model to model. So go out there and check out the bikes at a bike shop. What kind of wheel size compatibility are you looking at? Are you gonna want a mullet someday? A lot of frames let you switch between 29 and 27.5. Dropper post. I really loved my SRAM Axis dropper. It was so nice not to have a cable, and it was super responsive. Really was a terrific product. My 1-Up droppers have been super reliable and really quick. My BikeYoke dropper that came on my new Ripmo, it's worked really well so far. The honorable mention on this list is tools. It's really nice to have a home shop, but tools can be really expensive. Many costly tools can be found as generic options at far cheaper prices. There are some that you will really want to be of good quality. You're going to get more reliable repairs, and if they break, the manufacturer is more likely to replace or service the tools. Spending a few bucks in the right places can massively boost your bike's performance, especially if you have an entry-level or mid-range bike. Some new precision parts might just get you out on the trails more. Thanks for tuning in and allowing me to show you how to make your partner angry because you spent all your family's money on sweet bike stuff. Now get out there and ride your bike, and I'll see you when I see you.